Can't take no more gray, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. This is Ron Moten and the Ron Moten Show, and I'm here today to go through my checklist of the reasons why we cannot elect Mayor Gray. Why we cannot stand 4 more years in Mayor Gray. I'm going to get right at it. I'm going to go right through my checklist of things, of disappointment, of lies, of scandals, of a mayor who is worried about himself. This reminds me of the Rafer Edmond era, when the guy could have just took a plea bargain and left his family, friends, and community alone. But he decided to fight on in his interest, and that's what this mayor reminds me of. If this mayor goes through what he's trying to do, which is to drag this thing out, drag the people into it, divide the city, and then have a trial, what'll happen is he won't be governing the city for us. He'll be using all the tools and ammunition that we pay for to fight for himself. Therefore, we will not be getting our needs addressed once again over the next 4 years. So let me go through the list of things. Mayor Gray made 1 million promises. Am I right or wrong? All you all who live east of the river and throughout the cities. He said he was going to bring us all together. But when you listen to his rhetoric, he divides the city. Oh, then let's look at all the promises he makes. All the claims to fame of how he's changed the city and made it better. Well, we all know from a recent story that just came out that, like I've been saying all the time, the unemployment rate has not fallen in D.C. People have stopped looking for jobs. All right? And the last 3 quarters, the growth has stopped in Washington, D.C. So this mayor is once again deceiving the people as he goes around talking about what he's done to get people to work. We don't have to listen to data. We can go in the neighborhoods. Nobody's working. People are giving up. Brings me to why people are shooting and killing once again. Oh, the murder rate has risen in Washington, D.C. And this is the first mayor in the history of Washington, D.C. who has never come up with a plan of action to address the rise of homicides. As in Washington, D.C., as this data says right here, the murder rate is up 107%. Sexual assaults are up 50%. And robberies with guns are up 18%. But he wants you to think everything is all right. Do you want to continuously work with a disingenuous elected official? You can't solve the problem if you don't acknowledge it. This is putting all D.C. residents at risk. Then, let me go through my list again. He brags about progress in the schools. The schools. Is he talking about the schools where I believe is only 13% of black African Americans in Washington, D.C. are reading proficient? And the disparities has risen and at an astronomical rate in Washington, D.C. between whites and blacks and Latinos and blacks, and he's bragging? I thought he was supposed to make things better and bring everybody together, but we don't see that. Let me go to another subject. Oh, this weekend, he rides around with Marion Bird. Who would take a man who just got out the hospital and have him riding around in the rain? Now, this is one thing me and Marion Bird don't agree on, because we have acknowledged over the last 3 years together that Gray hasn't done anything for African Americans. So why he's supporting them, I don't know. Could have gave him a turkey or something. I don't know. You know how things go east of the river. People do things for the weirdest reasons. Still love Marion Bird, though, because nobody can challenge his record of what he's done in the past. But right now, he's making a big mistake. One, by riding around in the rain, because we don't treat our icon civil rights leaders like this. Have them running around in the rain after they just left the hospital. How selfish of Gray. I tell you. Now, another thing is, he never knows nothing. I don't know nothing, said Drone. He didn't know about the fence being put around his house by people who are getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the city. He didn't know about the lottery deal and what happened to Eric Payne, and this is a shame. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know about what was going on at the homeless shelters. He didn't know about all the things that are driving poor African Americans out of the city. All the things that are dividing our city. He don't know about it. Let me go to another issue. He brags about workforce development. Well, Metro hired 1,000 people and DOES only sent 7 people for interviews. We took away the CDL program. With all the jobs in CDL related employment in the DMV, And this guy takes away the CDL program. Anything that helped us from vending. We can't get a vendor's license in D.C. That's why you see guys on the trains selling oils. It's not that people don't want to work. It's not that people don't want to hustle legally. Every single thing that we used to do has been taken away from us. Let me go to another thing. The homeless. One of the biggest things I tried to bring out in 2010 was what his record was with the homeless when he was at DHS. He brought it to a shameful place where it was shown throughout the country of our devastating impact from mismanagement of the homeless in Washington, D.C. and what it did to a group of people and took us backwards to the point that we had a control board come in because he ran 2/3 of the city and put us in a deficit. He never talks about this. So is it any surprise of what's going on with the homeless in D.C. now under his leadership? Now these things are very, very important. 6 women killed in D.C. He hasn't showed up or said anything. 28 people shot and killed in D.C. He hasn't said anything. Murder rate up 106%, but he loves us. Come on now. Come on now. This is why D.C. Music didn't endorse him. This is why people are coming together and say, not business as usual, sir. You will not fool us on April Fools. So if you look up in the corner right here, you'll see the DC Music video that was done where it's saying we coming out because we want the world to know Gray gotta go, basically. You know, he didn't come to our forum, our candidates forum, to tell us why, you know, he did not address our issues or what he's going to do better because he can't do no better. This guy's going to be fighting for his life in the next coming months. So how is he going to fight for you? Now, I don't have no problems with David Catania, but I'm going to do the math for you. There was a poll that came out, and the poll said that David Catania would kick his behind. Mayor Bowser would beat Catania. So you got to make the decision yourself. You know, I don't care which way you go. I know which way I'm going to go, and the people who I did were going to go. We're not supporting Gray. You have to make that decision, though. Who do you want to be your next mayor? Do you want a man who can represent you while he's fighting the U.S. Attorney's Office, while he's using the AG to fight for him, while he's using government officials to fight for him, that should be serving you? As we go through some of the most trying times in this city, as the city has gotten better for some, but has it gotten better for you? Has the city come together with all our great diversity that we have in this city? It could be much better with a person who's going to pull all 8 wards together. And I say today to you, I'm endorsing Muriel Bowser. Oh, and I'm also not endorsing Jim Graham. So you know what that means. His opponent, hey, we need a supporter. We need a supporter. It's time for a new change in D.C. We must move forward, and we need a fresh start with fresh leadership that will work with the older people and the younger people and the white people and the black people, everybody in our city, put everybody together and work together and roll up our sleeves and solve the problems of our community so we can live a thriving and united city for all, everybody together as one. Right now, he said one city when he started, but right now for many it's done city. We need to bring about change. We need to vote for a new guy. Anybody who wants to help, hit me up. Anybody who wants to volunteer to get this guy to office, hit me up. We're going to pray for him. We're going to love him, but he got to go. Peace and love. Ron Moten, the Ron Moten Show. And listen, look at the video that's following this that we did. It's called Moving Forward. And look at the video about we coming out. Hey, we did this for you. We love you. God bless you. And get involved. Make sure you vote no matter who you vote for. But make sure you try to vote for the right person. In your heart, remember, negative things happen when positive people do nothing. God bless.
I've been waiting on you.
Brother Jay, I got a favor to ask you, brother. I'm gonna need some money for this mayor race.
I'm making help you. How much we talking?
I'm gonna need about 600,000.
No problem, as long as I can keep my DC contracts.
We in it to win it, then.
Looks good. I got a big check for you.
Thank you, Brother Jay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't call me Brother Jay, though. Call me Uncle Earl. Don't want nobody to see the shadow.
It's the Ronald Moten remix. Take that, take that. In 2010, Vince Gray called the FBI on a brother. Now the FBI is after him, and he wants to use the race card, dividing the city against one another. This ain't one. It ain't.
Gray out of office, we'll move forward. Can't take no more gray, yeah, yeah, yeah.
On these tickets, but potholes everywhere up in the district. Yeah, we tryna move forward, get rid of Vincent, yeah. And I swear that's gonna change our living. Shawty, open up your eyes, I'll show you a vision. Now these parents can't get jobs, neither can they children. Yeah, everybody's sick and they losing pensions. Listen, Vincent, he just legally pimping. We ain't rocking no more, shutting down the go-go. DC dirty po-po, and for the record, we really believe Earl. You be wellin' on my homies, you done put them in jail. With some whales, sorry Gray, but you done failed.
Get some bail.
And Barry said forget about the school. Look at all the kids you carry. Look at all my brothers locked in. You ain't care when they got buried. Damn, it's scary. While you and all your friends was getting loot, I dropped out of school. You tied up your Jimmy Choos and you gave us all a boot. That's why we shoot. And DC on my back like a tattoo. I got sick of bad news. I'm patiently waiting for part 2. Think you slick and cool, but you stick in pockets like harpoon. Yeah, and we ain't rockin' no more, no more. One more time, we ain't rockin' no more. And tell them again, we really believe Uncle Earl. Yeah. But y'all ain't listen, from ghetto living, Gray he was tripping. Time to clean up the kitchen on a mission. Georgia Avenue to Division, they robbing us blind. Look at William C. Smith and they catch the sickness from kissing. My city dirty and pissy, grimy the government. They done came and messed up our women. All my brothers in jail and they ain't even 18 yet. Just trying to make a name in the street. Okay, it's time for your atonement. Talking, boy, what happened to the homeless? Everybody outside. Yeah, you turn your back on ex-offenders. Last 4 years, we've been in the blender. Now it's time to win it. Yeah.
We move Gray out of office. We'll move forward. Can't take no more Gray. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So sick of this Gray. Can't take it no more.
I ask you, who do you believe? A greedy man attempting to save himself? Or me?
Hey, youngest man, it's your boy Suave. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get up and go vote. You know what I'm saying? Stop complaining about what's going on and make something happen. You feel me? Vote now, cry later.
Can't take no more gray, yeah, yeah, yeah. So sick of this way. Can't take it no more, yeah. So sick of this way. Can't take it no more.
Yeah, they spending millions on these tickets.